of Cast the Craze is brought to you by...
He killed his father. A curse on his people. Betraying his family in search of the truth. Awakening the evil behind the curse. Now they must race to save their people. Or die trying.
What's up, George? What's going on in the House of Craze today?
In the House of Craze, we are going to have the talented DeWayne Dority talking about his books, Blood, Sable, and Liar.
Liar,
So,
liar,
join us.
liar. Let's get it.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Cast the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the dream of Medina and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the craze. If you are an independent, catch the craze. Making moves on your own, catch the craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the craze. Join the movement, catch the craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. Yeah, you want to do it. Catch the Craze. Welcome to Cast the Craze podcast. I am your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Very, and I am with...
George, the Dreamer, Medina, what's happening, Sam?
What's happening? What's happening?
Live.
I
Once
know.
again, welcome everyone to another exciting episode, Catch the Craze.
Catch the
Live
Craze.
edition. This is a live edition.
This
This
is a
isn't a
live
Kickstarter
edition.
special. It's just a live show
Yes.
for one of our guests. Now, we're making an exception because we normally don't do this. We normally will pre-record the show. And then, we'll have them on. But,
Yes.
a couple of weeks ago when we were supposed to have them, or whenever it was we were supposed to have them, we had some technical difficulties and we had to move them to today. So thank you, DeWayne, for understanding and coming back on the show. So here we are, live.
Here we are, face to face, a couple of silver spoons.
Wow.
Hoping to
Yes.
find we're two of a kind.
Finish it. You got to finish it.
No,
now, dog.
you're supposed to finish me.
I don't even know what you're
Yo,
singing right
Finish
now.
me, bro.
Whoa, easy. Easy.
That would be
I know it's 8
easy.
o'clock. I know it's 8 o'clock. We're on prime time. but
Easy like a
damn.
Sunday morning.
Ooh.
Finish me
Holy
off, damn it.
cow. With that being said,
No, you're never gonna get it.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us on Catch the Craze. If you haven't yet, if you stumbled upon the show today and you're like, who are these guys?
Who
Hit
is
the
you?
subscribe button
Who you
and
is?
find out. We
Yes.
talk to independent artists from all over the world, all
around
kinds
the
of
world.
independents.
Same
And we
song.
talk to them about their passions and what, makes them tick. So please subscribe
Yes.
if that's something that you'd like to hear more about. Like, comment, and do all of that fun stuff so that we can help the channel grow.
Yes, help us.
Uh,
Help us help you. What's up, Michael San Martino? Welcome back.
Oh, look who's back. Back again.
I know.
He said, we back.
I know. Yeah, it's like, I can't wait to just pops off and there's like somebody Herb on the side doing all this stuff, so I don't have to be like this, like an octopus. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, Dave, you're like that DJ in the background over here, spinning
Yes.
records and doing all kinds of tricks behind the scenes.
Crazy.
Oh,
Crazy.
man. But yeah, no, we just finished a very interesting show with Jason Lennox. He's got a Kickstarter right now.
Oh,
for
Coach is into his ass.
the Satanic coloring book. So big shout out to him. Thank you for everyone who was on the live show that we just ended. We usually give you guys your props, but we had to shoot out and start this one. So big shout out to Sebastian.
It came from the radio.
Oh,
on the radio.
Michael Sammartino.
On the radio.
Yeah, this kid gets excited. he just had sugar right before we went up.
Pour
Michael Sammartino.
some sugar on me.
Can you let me say some of these names so that we can give these people their shout outs? Michael
Shout
Sammartino. Here we go. Yo. He can't help himself. Yo, mute that mic, son. Michael, I'm trying to give you a props, my man. I'm trying to give you a props. Michael Sammartino was on the show. I don't know if I missed anybody else that was on the show last, but thank you guys for coming.
Nerds it around. Michael Sammartino, Dan Price.
Got him. Got
right,
those. Anybody else? That was it?
Oh, yeah. And then there was one more that he got off last minute. He was listening.
Oh, yeah. Yes. George.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, George, for coming on.
Yes.
Yo, just stopping by for a few. I have my own recording to do in a bit. Thank you, Mark Torres. It came from the radio.
Yo, what's up? It came from radio. When am I gonna be on your show again?
Oh, damn! Shouting him out.
That Texas tea right here. Yeehaw!
Wow. John Coates says, Enemy Entertainment, what's up? So that's Sam is enjoying that Texas tea.
Delicious.
So John, big shout out to John Coates. That's a good segue for what we want to talk about. Do we want to do in the news since we're live? We're gonna do in the news.
Bangasaki.
So our indie news segment is going to feature none other than Forbidden. And the reason why I said that was a good segue is because the cover that John Coates did, the variant cover for Forbidden, has just been colored.
100%.
Okay? 100% colored. It looks amazing.
Looks fuego.
Okay. It looks incredible. And we're going to debut it on November 1st, day one of the campaign.
Yeah,
so
but here's a little sneaky peeky. You get a little you get a sneaky peeky. I cut out the main character, put him in this promo. Man. There's the Forbidden promo. Check the gods. What's up, Godcast? Into his house.
Godcast.
And
the Technique Godcast. All right. I see you play.
Godcast. Wow. So Forbidden issue number 2 is 32 pages. This campaign is going to have not only the 32-page issue 2, but it's also going to have volume 1 of the graphic novel. Variant cover by none other than Enemies Entertainment's John Coates' Psycho Comics. Was it the Symbol? I don't know how many names he's gonna have for himself. You got like more names than I got hair on my chin. You got the homage cover by Sam the Crazy Man Vera. Then you'll have the exclusive Kickstarter cover by Anibal Arroyo, and you have the exclusive Indiegogo cover by Primi Santra. And then, and also Anibal Arroyo has the cover for the graphic novel as well. Gotta give props to my boy. Because he was there from the beginning. So, and then there's a crossover between Philip Russ's Tragedy and Forbidden. So I did the art piece, and it's being colored by Philip's crew, and it's going to be available as an incentive. If I get to 75 backers, it'll be available as a digital print as a reward for a stretch goal for 75 backers if we do that. So I'm excited about that. And there's a little snippet of that piece by John Coates himself right there.
Yeah, and you know what? That little snippet does it no justice, bro. Like, trust me, thing is
I ain't showing
fire.
it. I'm not showing it to anybody until the live launch, John. You understand me?
John, hey, listen, man. John does his thing. John is also, it's funny because we have DeWayne Dority coming on in a few minutes, and he's the creator of Blood Sable and a book called Liar. And John is actually doing the inside art and doing, I think, the cover art. I think you're doing everything, right, John, for that book. So stay tuned, check that out.
Yes. I just put the links
through in there. Yeah. Go ahead.
I just put the links for Forbidden. Remember, we're doing a double launch. It's launching on both Indiegogo and Kickstarter. And so you might not be a Kickstarter fan. You might not be whatever it is. Pick which one. Right now we have 19 people who signed up on Kickstarter and 8 on Indiegogo so far. Kickstarter's in the lead. It's like Indiegogo will like see you. It's exciting. So I'm hoping with your help out there that we get to 100 backers. I would love to break 100 backers on this campaign. This campaign is well worth it. You have art by me, art by Anibal Arroyo, art by Prime Sancho, art by David Keeles, art by John Kositz, and you have lettered by the best letterer in the indie community, George the Dreamer Medina, killing it.
Wow.
Then you have the colors by Barbara Soroji, she killing it. She's actually working on the last chapter of Forbidden right now. So, by the time this campaign ends, the entire saga will be completely colored and finished and ready for the graphic novel, the full 200-page book next year in the fall. So this will be the last campaign for Forbidden until fall next year, where you're going to get the all 200-page book.
There you go. Wow. Damn. A lot going on.
Yeah.
And there's a lot going on in the chat. John says, that's why I haven't seen it. Because he knows. Sam knows you're going to post that everywhere. John's also drawing the whole book. It's a 40-page monster for Blood Sable. Technic Godcast, or pick both. Get your variant copies. Buy both. Look at him. He's promoting you. He's promoting you.
Oh, a lot of covers.
Pick up some Technigods books too.
Yeah, Technigods. And look for Technigods issue number 2 on What's in the Box coming up soon.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
That's right. So
lots to talk about.
a few things on the indie news. That's awesome, man. So looking forward to November 1st. Don't forget November 1st.
Join us here.
It's the live launch show at 8 p.m. That's a Monday. So that's a Monday. So
if you're down with the craze, share the link to your community, share it to your friends. Let's get people to sign up that first day. We want to kill it. We believe that Forbidden, if everybody got a hold of Forbidden, they're going to enjoy it, and we want to get into as many people's hands as possible. And I can't do it on my own. We need you guys. As good as the people that worked on it are, we don't have the reach, and we are just humble creators, and we need the community to support us with this.
Yeah. So help brothers out.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Help brothers out.
Yes.
But so that's indie news. And this is, so we normally don't do shows like this with the indie news and the Get Your Meds and the gas. We normally don't do them live. But today.
So you guys are here for Get
different.
Your Meds and indie news.
Yeah, you're going to be here for Get Your Meds. So you'll be able to, give us a little feedback on the topic as Sam and I are chatting it up. So, we're gonna need a little crowd participation. I know you guys aren't shy because you guys usually just be, especially Michael and John.
Not gonna happen.
And Mark. Yeah.
Stop asking.
Oh man,
you're not getting it until the 1st.
See, John, you should. You get trigger happy, bro. You could have had that.
John, you're too quick with it, man. He's like, shoot it, blah 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 blah. I'm like, yo, relax. We gotta make it big. I'm trying to announce it, make it a big surprise. He's over there like, hello, look at this.
Yo, but John, trust me, bro. That thing is fuego, man. It is really, really, really good. Really well done.
It's like I gotta hold him back. It's like get the pepper spray. Don't send it. Yes, thank you, Blair. Exactly. She said, don't send it. I'm not sending anything.
Oh man, the good Blair knows.
Yes, he'll post it everywhere. I'll see it at the bodega. I'm like, what's he doing at the bodega? I'm going to Walmart. It's on the wall. I'm like, what's going on here?
You gotta get some Chinese food. Is it the Chinese food spot? Like, what's going on? He'll post it. Yeah, see?
Got crumbs everywhere.
But anyway, let's get some medicine up in here, Sam. What do you think?
But before we get the meds, I do want to say congratulations to Daphne Lage, who completed her campaign successfully, broke the 5,000 mark, killed it, broke her backer record. She killed it. So hats off to you. And Daphne Lage was an official sponsor of the Craze, and she sponsored 4 episodes of The Craze, 4 episodes of What's in the Box, and The Crazy Channel S, and she did a great job on her campaign. So much success to you. Now, with that said, it winds up in the bathroom for some reason. I know, right? When you go sit down, you close the door. You're like, oh, there goes John again. It's like Diablo. It's like, but yes, I feel a little dizzy. I just haven't done this in a minute. There.
It's time for your medicine.
All right. So think, write, produce, publish, years later, revamp. Poor K. Poor K, poor K.
Why do we do it to ourselves? Why do we constantly just keep changing things after we've already gone through the trouble of publishing it and doing all of that stuff? Why? That is the question. The question is why. So yeah, why, Sam? Why is that done? Why does that happen?
Insecure.
Insecure? You're insecure?
You're not confident in your work and you feel like you got to go and revamp it. Maybe you had it sitting. See, just what happens. The head junk, right? You have your stuff sitting in a box. You don't touch it for years. The world's changed, tastes changed. And then you believe, well, I have to be in touch with the trends. It's not going to be relevant to today. But what people forget is at the time you wrote it, at that time you put your heart and soul into it. Stand tall with it. It's a perfect example. I could have changed Forbidden Around. I didn't. The first 2 issues that I produced with Anibal were the same 2 issues. What I did was when I finished the script evolved on the issues that were never produced. The script evolved because I saw holes where I needed a plug based on the synopsis and the plot that I wrote. So I said, I can add this, I can add that. But the first 2 stood where they were.
Yeah. Same if you had to go to the bathroom from now on.
Yes, it does pay to advertise.
It sure does. It sure does. I think that it depends. The only time that I will change, like for example, Russ, right?
Oh,
Russ was changed, but Russ was changed because there was no story. Like I wrote that, I was writing that as I was drawing it. There was no plan in my mind for how the story was going to go. It was just, this is cool. Let me draw this as I'm writing this. So there was no plan. I never wrote the story out. I never had a plan in mind as to where it goes. So I hit a wall. Boom. I just hit a straight up wall as to where I was going with the story. The only way to change that was to rewrite it. So I did. And I think that part of that and like, okay, listen, Russ it's 6 issues deep. It's over. It's done. It's published. I'm not rewriting that story now. Like, I'm not, 10 years from now, I'm not going to look at it and be like, you know what? I'm going to rewrite this. I'm not. It's done. It's published. It's over. But I think that, we are constantly evolving. Sam just sees shadows around his house. What was that? It's the cover.
Who can it be now?
But yeah, I think that, and listen, I have no problem with if you haven't published it or if you haven't done anything with it, go ahead, go for it. Redo it, revamp it. If you feel like you've gotten stronger as a writer and what you wrote at the beginning doesn't make any sense anymore, yeah, revamp it. But if it's been published already, if it's out there, that's when I don't go back. Like, I'm not going back to Russ now. Like, at this point, I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not. I'm not. But I think part of it is that you evolve as a writer. You learn new tricks. You look at your stuff and you're like, damn, that sucked, dude. Like, I got so much better in this time.
See, for me, what I think that I don't run into that problem because I plot out everything. And so when I plot it out, I know exactly where I'm going to go. Now the script evolves because the script hasn't been written, but the plot and the character bios and the history, that stuff is there. So that's my point of reference as I'm writing the script. I always go back and I refer to the Bible. I call it the Bible when I'm going. And then if I write a script for issue 1, I use issue 1 as a platform to build on issue 2. And I have something, a point of reference. The only time I wrote the plot for Designated in My Toilet, and I was drawing and writing the dialogue as I went, right? Because I was letting the scenes speak for me, speak for the character. It wasn't until the management company that was representing me at the time said, hey, we need a treatment, that I had to go and have a full plot per issue complete. So then now I know exactly what I need to do with every issue because it's already outlined right there. So it's just the words are missing and the scenes and all that other stuff. But I just believe that, I think sometimes it all depends on how you start it. Like you were just writing it because you had fun with it and it was something you love to do and you love the character. And that's why you had to go back and revamp it. Now, personally, I loved your first version of Russ. I would have built from there and said, hey, this is where the story is at. These are the main characters. These are the main points that I've identified. How do I build from this point? Because I thought that first issue was still my favorite of all time. And if you haven't seen the What's in the Box of Rush 5377, go and check it out because I give you both perspectives on both issues.
Michael says, or I don't know, Technic Godcast, I don't know if that's still you, Michael, but he says, the game industry remasters games, we can remaster our books. So let's talk about remastering. What do you mean by remaster? Mike, just if you could type it out, what do you mean by remaster? But yeah, no, I think that. So let me ask you this: so when you were finishing up the script for Forbidden, right? Mm-hmm. Were you at any point? Did you ever at any point go back to the older books and say, "Ooh, I could have changed that," or I'm gonna work around that as I finish this because I'm not gonna change that. Was there at any point that you had that?
No, I felt the first two issues were strong enough on their own. That I needed to make sure I complemented them on the consecutive issues. That was the challenge for me because I haven't wrote those scripts yet. And so when it was time, so what I had to do was I spent a couple months rereading my Bible because I had a binder full of character bios and all that stuff. And I went back and reread it, read the script, read the comic books again. And that's like, okay. Because I haven't touched it in 10 years. So I just had to reacclimate myself with this story. And then I realized, oh, okay, maybe I needed the 10 years off because I've seen another route in the book. It's going to get to the same place, but I took a different, I went left instead of right. Mm-hmm. So because I didn't write those scripts, I had creative liberty to play. Because and then even when if you look at the original Bible that I gave Anibal with all the characters, there were some characters that weren't in it. Characters I created after the 10 years and added into the story because it made sense.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, no, for me, I felt that the first two issues were strong enough on their own. The dialogue was strong. I thought Anibal's drawing art was strong. I just felt I needed to make sure that whatever I do with the rest of it, complement it. And if you haven't picked up Forbidden, sign up now. The link's in the chat and in the summary to the campaign. You'll be alerted when we launch November 1st because the third issue that no one's ever seen, which is issue number 2, the third book, issue number 2 that no one's ever seen, it pops off. And you're not going to want to miss this one. And it's 32 pages and it's crazy. But go ahead.
Yeah, no. I think that so in a sense, yes, you didn't. The stuff that was already published, it wasn't touched, but there was a revamp in the story in the sense that you did add more characters. You changed a couple of things that now that you look at it 10 years later, like you said, I needed that time off as a writer, as a person, as a man, who matures and looks at the world a little differently. You were like, ooh, I can now do this to this story. But I guess what you're saying is if it was published, it would have stayed that way. You would not have come back.
If I published it, I wouldn't have touched it. No. I wouldn't have touched it.
Yeah.
For me, it's like I feel like
that's the difference.
Yeah, I think for me, I just like I like to close the chapter. If I did it at that time in that period of time, that was my best work. I leave it alone. I keep it moving, and I start something new. But because I never finished it, when I got to finish it, I got to play again in the sandbox, and that was like Cosmic Wars might get a remaster. Based on the success of
based on the
let's talk
what
about
kind of book are we writing over here? Cosmic Wars. What is this book about?
So Cosmic Wars might get remastered in 2023.
Now why would you remaster that?
Because the software is irrelevant that I used back then, because it was part 3D and part hand illustration. And I colored it all in Photoshop, and that program is no longer available anymore, and that I used back then, and I haven't done 3D in a long time, so I just might just do it, by hand, freehand, and I will only touch it based on the success of the next campaigns in 2022, which is the graphic novel, the 200-page graphic novel for Forbidden, the graphic novel for There's an Alien in My Toilet, and the graphic novel for Cast of Crazies. So there's 3 graphic novels coming out next year, and so their successes will tell me should I move forward with the next project or just finish the Alien in My Toilet series and do the second volume, based on the success of the first volume. So if that first volume is successful, then I'll do the second volume. If it isn't, then I'll probably move on to Cosmic Wars. So we'll see.
Yeah, so Technigodcast or Michael says remaster like upgrading the books from the past. Like he said, and he used an example, say Yo Wonder Duck, I'm sure you're adding new stuff to it. And then Mark says remaster equals special edition. And then and then Mike says George Lucasing it. Who shot first? I don't know. Third base, shortstop. I thought, wow,
I was like,
that one went.
Sometimes I tore a pretty tat. I'm like, what's he saying?
What?
I was like, what did he say?
What?
He said for Lulu.
So the term remastering. So Mark says remastering is a special edition of the book. Whereas Michael sounds like he's saying upgrading it.
Like for instance, like a special edition that I did with Disney and my toilet, I did High Duty for Me, the Christmas special. That was like a special edition. There was a bonus in the trade paperback in the graphic novel that had a cross promotion of Cosmic Gorf with Duty in the book. If you haven't picked it up, look for us in 2022. Yeah, I mean, I think you can always go back and do like I think special edition. I like that word because you could do like Christmas specials or a bonus edition. The what do they call it? The editor's cut or whatever it is.
Director's cut.
Director's cut. Yeah. Yeah. So it all depends, but I believe that if you did something and they published it, move on. Yeah. If you didn't publish it, it ain't remastered because no one's seen it.
No, it's true. It's true. I just think that at our level, who's really seen it? You know what I mean? I just think for me, I wouldn't redo Rust. Number one, I'm not an artist, so I don't draw it. So I'm not going to redraw that whole thing all over again. You know what I mean? Like, am I really going to pay an artist over, $5,000 or whatever it is to redraw the book?
No, I think you as the creator,
I wouldn't.
Should do like a special stretch goal piece where it's your art.
Yeah, no, that to me that's different than taking a whole book and redrawing that thing.
I think you should do a variant cover. You should do something.
I wouldn't do that with Russ at this point. Russ, I've published the entire 144-page book. It's a graphic novel. That's it. It's staying that way. I'm not really changing it.
Issue 0. That's it.
Yeah.
No more issue zeros.
You'll just have a book of just issue zeros. Just all your issues.
Do you know that I saw every one of my...
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say
every one of my books
had a zero. Yeah. Had a zero. That book had, for some reason, the damn 90s the Cyfax cut.
I was into a Russ variant. Which is the one coming out next year, Russ or Wonder Duck?
Nah, it's Wonder Duck. Okay. Wonder Duck. So it's the continuation of Wonder Duck. It's not a remastered or revamped. It's just a continuation of that story as it goes along. But yeah, no, it's interesting, man, because I think a lot of indies feel like, man, you know what? I should redo this thing, and then nothing gets done because we don't finish it. We just keep changing the same thing over and over and over again. At this point, like we were talking about, I think we're on the same page with this. Once you've published it, once you've printed out a few copies and you sold that thing, like, move on. Let's just move on to something else. Create something completely different, especially if the story's finished. Yes. If it's not finished, then you have room to play. Like, for example, with your Forbidden, you had room to play with the end of the story because you only printed out the first 2 issues or whatever of that book.
Yes, and it ends in a way that allows the reader to create their own stories in their head on what they think happens next.
Right.
The dreamer cut. Yes.
Yo, what you call it? Mark, what's up with the Chosen Few, man? What's going on? Oh, and we had a question yesterday on the show. What was the name of the original show that you had? It wasn't it came from the radio, right, Mark? So let us know in the chat. But
yeah,
yeah, man.
Hey, just let me know, Mark, whenever I'm available to come on your show, except for Tuesday nights and Wednesday nights because we're doing this.
Oh man, no, but that's a fun topic, man. And if you guys, just think about it. Why do we change our stuff? But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's well, like, why does DC constantly retell the same Superman story in movies and waste all that millions of dollars on the same damn story over and over again? I was like, really? Who's the damn knucklehead that's making these decisions? Right? It's like, oh, we want to get to another generation. Tell the next story. Stop it.
Honestly, like I hate origin stories for characters that big. I don't need like if you don't know how Superman got his powers, bro. Like you've been under a rock, or you're 2 years old.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and you've never heard of this. But other than that, we all know Superman is an alien from outer space, and he's got superpowers, and that's all you need to know, bro. Like just have him flying around and doing things. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a little frustrating with DC. And
DC. They did a good job with Batman.
Batman and the new Batman that's coming out sounds like it's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, so they did a good job there. But I'm like, yo, slow down. And if you're watching this episode right now, please give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions, please hit us up right now. What do you think about this topic we got going on? The original show was called The Comic Book Novice Show. There it is.
The Comic Book Novice.
There it was.
That's what it was. That's right. That's right. Why'd you change it? Why did you revamp it?
I think they went separate ways.
Technicast said, how did Batman become Batman? I need to know that again, over and over and over again.
I know.
Every Batman movie. How did he become Batman? Like what?
Really?
You don't know?
Really?
Come on, dog. Come on.
I know.
Dog. But yeah, that's
so I do see that was the topic. That was Get Your Meds today. I do see that our guest is in the waiting room, Mr. DeWayne. And but if you have a campaign, if you have a comic book convention you're going to, are you going to be a guest on the Came from the Radio? You want the world to know? Why not consider?
Are you sitting at home wondering how you're going to spread the word about that Comic-Con that you're about to appear at, and you want to get some press? How about your first book signing? How do you spread the word so you can get an audience there? Or that first panel at a Comic-Con? Who do you talk to? Or even your first crowdfunding on Kickstarter or Indiegogo. The world is turning to podcasting to get the word out. Why not you? Sponsor an episode of Catch the Craze and start promoting yourself today.
All right, we're bringing our guest in right now. He's joining Mr. DeWayne. Let's see, guest Dority. It's coming on any second. Drum roll, please.
Buddy.
That's the drum roll.
That's the drum roll. There he is. He's coming. Slowly. It's coming in.
Hit that button.
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm enjoying these live shows. I'm not even lying.
They're pretty cool
and everything.
Short version of name change. We wanted to do a rebranding and expand beyond just comics. Even thought we always did.
Yeah.
Even though we always did.
I forgot it was the Comic Book Novice Show. I totally forgot about that.
Yes.
That's a throwback.
Yes.
And while we wait for DeWayne, if you guys haven't yet, go to iHeartRadio and wherever you get your podcast and check out It Came From the Radio. Every Monday, right? Mark, shows are every Monday, so check it out. Make sure you subscribe.
Zoom code.
And do that. Send him a Zoom code.
He's in there. Oh, there he goes.
There he is. All right. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Thank you.
No problem. Good.
Thanks,
good.
Welcome to the craze,
man. Finally,
yeah, I appreciate y'all having me on.
Nah, no doubt. Pronounce your name for me because I mess up names all the time.
Well, my actual name or my profile name?
Not your actual name, or however you want to be called. I don't want to call you out. You know,
it's just DeWayne. Yeah, just DeWayne.
Ah, so I was like DeWayne.
Hey, in high school, everybody used to call me DeWayne, so it doesn't bother me how it's said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, welcome and welcome to the show, everyone. We have DeWayne Dority, right?
Yeah, you got it right.
All right, Dority on the show. He's the creator of Blood, Sable, and Liar, the comic, and we're excited to have you on the show, man. I know you on social media, and so we've chatted on there back and forth, but it's nice to finally actually get to chat with you. Next step is seeing each other in person, but
exactly. I appreciate it,
thank you for coming on. So for those who don't know who DeWayne is, tell us a little bit about yourself. Briefly, so we have some questions to ask you. So just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Me, I'm just pretty much like a hobby artist. I started drawing when I was around 18. Former college football player, just a guy, enjoys being a nerd and geeking out and stuff like that. So, autism dad, a husband, just the usual stuff like everybody else, pretty much.
There you go, man. There you go. No, I love the story, man. I know that you created the character, as a way to to just cheer up your son and do things with your son. So that's awesome, brother. I appreciate that. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, Sam tells me, and I'm very jealous that you send him a copy of Liar. He read it. I have no idea what Liar is about. He didn't share it with me. It's like,
oh man, if you want a copy, I'll definitely send you one.
He can't read. Don't worry about it.
I like the pretty pictures.
It's like the pictures. But I do want to say you have D. Hausner in the chat saying what's up.
He's awesome. He's a good dude.
That's right. And John Coates is in
the
house.
John's a freaking. I love John. He's been good to me and my family, and I'm very blessed that he wanted to help me put Blood Sable together. When he read the story, he was instantly hooked and just was ready to help me bring that book to life. So I'm very thankful for him and everything he's done for me.
Nice. You also have
Pyramid. Shout out to him.
Yeah, we got Pyramid graphic novels in there. What's up, Jerry?
Listen, DeWayne. So tell us a little bit about just where did you grow up? Tell us where you grew up and just your influences as a kid. What made you get into this whole comic book thing, man?
Well, I kind of grew up in a. I'll get a little personal. I grew up in a broken home, so when I wasn't playing football, I loved to watch Saturday morning cartoons with my brothers. And so we'd watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we'd watch Power Rangers, we'd watch Dragon Ball Z, things like that, and Toonami, kind of as our getaway through the crazy, life. And so when I wasn't playing football, I would just sit down and draw my own characters based on all these amazing, anime and, cartoons that I watched. And I just felt like I could do something with that in my life. And, I put it down for a little while, went to college, played football for 2 years. And when I was about 21, 22, I decided to get back into it. And my wife, she came up with this, gave me an amazing idea because I was like on the Fritz belt, what kind of character to create. So she, helped me get that, drive back. And, this is where I am now. I made Wake Comics and all the great characters that are a part of it, just trying to push myself out there. That's awesome. That's where I'm at. I'm just grinding every single day just to be where I want to be.
Yeah.
Nice.
What did you play, dude? What position in football?
I played center. I played center and guard. Yeah, I was always offensive lineman. Yeah,
I thought so.
Always a big boy. Yeah.
I was like, you weren't a wide receiver. You were in the trenches. You were in the trenches.
Exactly. Getting dirty, getting those hands bloody. Exactly.
Yeah. That's a tough position, bro. That center position is no joke, man.
And it was cool because I came from an all-white town. So when I went to college, I went to Arkansas Baptist College, and it's a historically black college. And I got to have a lot of brothers, that I love to this day that I talk to that are pretty much my family. And, they support me too. So, it was great to, have that transition and do that in my life.
Yeah, you need that. Sometimes you need that change, right? You got to go. You got to see different things. I think as a creator too, it opens your mind to a different way to tell stories or different stories to tell rather than just your basic stuff that you would have seen in your hometown. Do you find that some of your stories, you sprinkle some of that into your stories when you're writing them?
Yeah. Like, with Blood Sable, I put a little bit of, my family and, some of my, wife's things are in there, little, what would you call them, Easter eggs for her and my son in there. For Liar, my house growing up in Magazine, Arkansas is in there. So that house that you see in the background is pretty much what I grew up in. Pretty much Maggie is me as a kid having to, go through the, mental things I had to go through in life, that I'm still struggling with and getting help for. So, when I wrote Liar, it's just my, outlet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very deep, and I read it, and when you started the conversation with George, and you talked about coming from a broken family, it clicked on me. As so the first question I had, and you just answered it, was how much of your life was in Liar?
Yeah, pretty much Liar is my father. When I created Liar, my father, he was the epitome of like all the hate and sadness and pain I had. So that character pretty much is, my feeling towards my father in real life. He is the Liar pretty much. And so Maggie in the story, I wanted her to be, the character that you see when she's running away, how scared she is of, her father and the things that's going on in her home. And it's just a short story, but what I wanted to do is mostly express what was going on, in the home more than anything than, actually have Liar, as the main character. I wanted, Maggie to be shown like this little kid who's going through all this heartache and, it doesn't end well, but in real life, it's kind of getting better for me. So that's why I wrote Liar, just to try to get some of that, extra pain out.
Yeah.
So anybody, who has that and wants to get it out, I give props to them. If you need help, definitely go out and get it. And so if you have an outlet to get it, do it.
So before we even go into Liar, what was that beginning process for you where you realized that you needed to get outside support in order to deal with the things that you've been dealing with?
It's I went, I'll say this. I'm just starting the journey on getting actual professional help for myself to get better. So, I for years I tried to deal with it, on my own. And so, I thought maybe writing the story, it could help a little bit and doing it that way. But, sometimes you gotta reach out to people, that you trust and that, and even have your own family, that you still talk to help you. And so I'm thankful that I was able to write Liar and that he became a character people have enjoyed from me, because like I said, I made that short story just to try to get out some of my past out into a page, and hopefully people would enjoy it. And so I'm glad, when Stephen Kennedy he read my story for Liar, he wanted to help me and get that to, bring it to life. And I was very glad that I was able to do that. I launched it on Kickstarter, it didn't happen, but Liar, for some reason, has still been a character people, when they see me create him, they just love, the character and what he's, the past that I went through, what he represents for me. So just to have that is pretty awesome, to have people see that character and know, hey, DeWayne went through a lot, but he's doing better every day.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, congratulations to you, because it takes a lot of courage to be able to face the demons that have been haunting you for years.
Yeah.
And I think that you found a creative way to deal with that, which it's almost like taking a burden off. And when I read the story, I felt it was coming from the perspective of a child. Because a kid would say Liar with a lot of passion, Liar, and so when I read it and I was going through it, you can't help but feel for the child. Like the ending is devastating. It was like, oh my God, but there's a lot of passion and heart in the story. So I mean, you wrote it well. I mean, there are moments where you don't even have dialogue, but you set the tone with the images, and I think you did a really good job with it.
Yeah, I'm thankful Stephen Kennedy, when he was doing the art, because I did the story and the posters for the book, and he was able to color some stuff for me, but he drew and did all the imagery for the actual story. So when he would talk to me about how, I wanted the pieces of the story to look, I would tell him I want Maggie to feel and look this way. I want her to be in the closet and look like this, because some of the things Maggie does in the book I've done, in my childhood, hiding in the closet, hoping, the hours pass by and I can go to bed without getting in trouble, or, something happening to me. So, when I was writing that story, I pretty much was putting myself in Maggie's shoes, like what I did as a kid. And, It was a short story. I just, just felt like somebody needed to see it. If I could help someone, even with that horror, the story that, it was horror, but at the same time, it was like, it was an outlet to say, hey, it's something you can get over if you just put it out there.
Right. I think that the plot twist that struck me was when it changed from the father's body was possessed by this demon.
Well, don't see this. See what he's doing. He's ruining the story.
Yeah.
For not just me, but everybody watching right now.
Liar.
You see what happens?
Lies.
You see?
And,
He's
but it
killing
had almost I like I'm not gonna give that away. What happens and how you ended it, but it has a Jeepers Creepers feel to it, where the return stuff. I
wanted it to have the ending to say, hey, I could do a sequel if I wanted, or stuff like that.
Yeah. So the way you ended it, it reminded me of Jeepers Creepers because it was like the same time every year or whatever.
I always hated that Jeepers Creepers character, but he's a great character.
I like the first one. The first one for me it was the best one, but
John's in the comments, he says, and then Sam says, I jumped the gun.
Yo, he sent me the book we're gonna talk about. It's not my fault George doesn't know how to read.
No. Everybody, listen, everybody wants to read this story. You can't ruin the twist in the story for the people. Now,
hey, I did the What's in the Box from Text the Gods, and he's killing it.
Yeah. So DeWayne, I love the conversation. I love what you're talking about as far as the story goes. And I was looking through the campaign. You said it was a failed campaign, but you were right there, man. It wasn't like it was like, oh, I did. Yeah. You were right there. It wasn't even like, it was close. But Kickstarter, once it's all or nothing, so it happens.
Exactly.
But how can we get that story? Say, for example, it's not Sam doesn't want to send it to me. But how do you get that story? Like, where do you get it? Where do you go to get it?
If anybody just wants to reach out to me, because I'm still working on a website, because my wife and I want to try to do stuff that way. So we have a lot going on. So hopefully later on down the line, I can do a website. But if anybody wants to DM me, just $5, I can send it to you via email, or message you it. With some posters, all the original posters that I made and were colored by Stephen Kennedy. People can get. I'll give them all the posters I made plus the book. So if they want that, just $5. Just not crazy expensive. Just a little $5 if they want it. Yeah.
Are you considering transitioning over to Indiegogo with it?
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that. Yeah, because people have been asking me, when are the people who have read the book, are you going to do a Liar 2? Are you going to do a Liar 2? And I'm like, yeah, I definitely can when I have the time. I would love to do a Liar number 2. And, if people, want to get the original book, I can definitely put that in there too. So they can get 2 books for, the price of one if they want.
Right.
So
because
I would love to do that.
Indiegogo offers you the difference between them and Kickstarter is that you don't have to make the full back campaign. You might have 20 backers, but you didn't make your goal, but you're still going to get that money to be able to reward those 20 backers.
Yeah, I definitely would love to do that, because Liar's a book I enjoyed putting together. I think that's probably the one project in my whole life I've put my blood, sweat, and tears into. I'm sitting here with the folders I have of all the artwork I still have, just black and white pieces that I did for the projects, So, I'm making Liar stuff every day. I'm making Wait Comics stuff all the time. So I'm willing to do that again. I love it, for sure.
I love it. I follow you on social media, and I love the live videos that you do. With you just sit there and you just go through your comics and you go through the work that you do. It's inspiring, dude. It's inspiring. I really do. I appreciate you doing that. And you writing this story and putting it out is courageous as hell, man. Because a lot of people are very afraid about putting that part of their lives out. You know what I mean? And so they hold it inside. But you decided, you know what? I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna create a comic and I'll put it out there.
Because I think people, if they hold it in for too long, it'll eat them up, and that's what has happened to me. Is that I held it, that pain in for so long that kind of ate me up a little bit. So it was time to put that story out there, and it was time to get myself some help so I can be better, not only for myself but for my family and for my friends as well. Because the more help I get, the better I'm going to be as an individual and as a creator as well, because I'll be able to focus more on being the best person I can be in my art and in real life. Yeah. So people definitely, if they need that help, definitely just get it if they need it.
Right. So when you wrote, I can't even talk about the story because everyone's gonna get upset with me. But so without giving it away, when you wrote the story, what made you decide to go that route with what's her name again? Penny? What was her name? The little girl?
Maggie.
Maggie. Yeah.
What made you decide to go that route with Maggie?
I didn't even read the book. I know it's Maggie.
Because I with Maggie, I wanted it I wanted to show people, like I didn't want to give Liar too much away. I wanted it to be more about, what this little girl went through in her home, try to get that perspective of, a broken home. And,
right.
Everyone has a demon, and literally Liar's the demon in her home. So, I wanted people to see, Maggie as a person that, if people, people could get behind, and, if people who've read the story know that what happened. So I don't want to give too much of that away, but I want to get her perspective more, because I wanted to kind of keep Liar in the shadows, as a character, but he, was able to manipulate things, in the shadows. So poor Maggie, she goes through the ringer, but
yeah, because I want to feature it on What's in the Box, so I can get you some attention on it. I got these haters all around me and stuff. I'm like, what's that? It's like, come on. What's up, Jalal? Jalal's in the house.
Oh, Jalal's in the house. Listen, we have a lot of people in the house.
What's up, Raging in the house?
Yes. And I don't know if that's Meredith or that's Nita,
awesome.
but yeah, we have
so
some
cool.
people in the house. Speaking of covers, John says, did you see Jalal's Blood Sable variant cover? And I did, and I liked it. And Jalal says, hey guys, super late here, but gonna check in for a bit, catch up tomorrow. Yeah, it's 1 a.m. It's 1 a.m. in the UK. So thanks so much for it. Maybe later. It's almost 2 o'clock. So thank you so much for tuning in right now.
Word.
Yeah, I'm so thankful that he wanted to do a cover for Blood Sable, because like I said, I already had one cover and John made 2. And so when he wanted to make one for Blood Sable, I was so thankful, because, I talked to him all the time, and he told me to hold on to it for a little while. So I did, because I wanted to surprise it as just the 4th and final, cover. So I'm very thankful to have that, when the project's done, people can get that cover as well.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Nice.
So let's talk a little bit about Blood Sable, man. Let's talk about Blood Sable. We spoke about Liar. So let's talk a little bit about your other project, Blood Sable. Tell us the premise of Blood Sable, and we'll start there.
Blood Sable is pretty much like Liar, but it's more, a father-son kind of story. A father, loses his son, and he's able to have these amazing powers, and he uses them to track down his son and kick anybody's ass who's in the way to, get his family back. So it's just 40 pages, just kick assery at, John putting it together. He told me, he's so ready to get into the action parts, because I tried to make it, as interesting as it could be. A dad who's like no holds bar. If you take his kid, he's coming for you, no matter who you are. If you're in the way, he's coming for you, like a real parent would do in real life. Yeah. So, I made that story just with all the love and passion I could, just wrote it 40 pages. I got it sitting right here beside me. I edited it like 6-7 times, just wrote it by hand, the whole 40 pages, just to make sure that, I could get it right. And so that was the first story I ever wrote. Liar came second, but Liar was the first story I wanted to get out first. So Blood Sable was always the first story I wanted to do and get out for people. So I'm very thankful that it's getting there.
Yeah, I've seen some of the pages that John's working on, and they look amazing, man. They look
I love
really,
that 90s style.
Really good. Yeah. And I like that you're pacing it, so it's not just all hardcore boom, superhero kind of action.
Yeah.
There's a story to this, so you're kind of it's moving. There's a pace to it.
Yeah. Like when I wrote it, I wanted to make sure it wasn't just he's a superhero, he's going to get his powers, he's going to be amazing. We're going to move on after that. No, I wanted it to be we're going to find out who Eric Burns is. We're going to find out who his son is. Then tragedy is going to strike, and then we're going to find out what happens afterwards. Stuff like that, And I'm proud that that's how it's going. How I was able to write it. Just make it a paced story. Not just. You give it to you all at once, and then you're like, okay, that's, I've read a story like that before.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Jalal says it's a great character, and John says Blood Sable's an awesome character and a lot of fun to work on. And Jalal says 90s is the new golden age of comics.
Crazy.
But so the 40 pages. So is it an ongoing story? Is this, or is it just like a 40-page one shot and then you're moving on? Well, how are you handling the story itself?
Yeah, I plan to have a second one afterwards, because I was talking with John, because I already have a story ready for Blood Sable 2. I wanted to, make that 40 pages just to get the character out there for everyone to read. And then I already know how the second one's going to go. I know who he's going to first, in the second book and the third book and the last book. I wanted to do 4 of them, just 4 great stories where he's fighting these different, characters that he has, and just end it there. And, hopefully transfer the mantle to another, Blood Sable individual after that. Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
And before you came on, Sam and I were talking about how we tend to revamp stories and things like that. How do you write? Like, do you sit down and plot out the entire run, or are you kind of like per issue, you're kind of like just putting it down as you think of the story per issue?
I think of the story a little bit at a time. Like with my Crescent Blue story, I'm thinking about a little piece at a time, like a page at a time. If you just take time to just think a little bit at a time and just put some ideas down on a page, what you want for a first page and how you want the story to end. I think that's what's worked for me. I already knew how I wanted Blood Sable to begin and end, so I knew how that aspect was going to happen. I just had to put the meat and the cheese in the middle. So that's how I usually do. I know how I want this story to start and end, and I just try to write, make it cohesive in the middle. So that's always been my kind of, thing, how to do it. Sometimes it's taken me longer than I wanted, but I'd rather take longer to make a good story than, be short about it and the story doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Do you start with the character? Like, in other words, do you draw a character and then, do a story around that character, or is it the other way around?
Yeah, when I'm always drawing my character, like most of my characters, my wife and son help inspire me to create. So when I create them, I sit down and think about what kind of great story I could have for them. What's their meaning? Why did I create them? And how can I make a story around that amazing, meaning of them? So that's where I start, even down to the colors of the character. I try to implement how that, would be in the story, how their powers would work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how I do things with my characters. I draw them first, get a concept, and then when I want to write a story about them, I create, their backstory first, so I understand what I'm working with, and then write a story.
Yeah. John is in the chat. He said, I had already shown the variant cover to Blood Sable #2, which is weird because I usually am good at keeping covers a secret. So it's just so you know, I don't know if you were listening to the show before you came on, DeWayne, but Sam's got, John is doing a variant cover for Sam. Surprise, right? He's doing variant covers for everybody.
Isn't that for Forbidden, I think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So he showed the cover before Sam even got a chance to say, yo, you know what? We're going to debut this later on. So now Sam's got that cover colored. It's colored. It looks great,
awesome.
dude. It looks
that's
great.
Awesome.
But he refuses to give it to John because he knows John will post it everywhere.
Yeah, he's like, Paul Revere. The British are coming. The British are coming. I was like, slow down.
Yeah, like with John, I've told him, of like, I'll do the sneak peeks because I know John, when he creates something, he wants to show it off. He wants to be like, hey, I got this, guys. Look at what I made.
Fast. He is.
John's a good dude. I think he gets excited when he's working on everything he's doing. So he just wants to show it because he's, he put all that hard work into it. So of course, every artist who creates all those hours wants to show off.
Look at you be so polite. He's so polite. I just want a what are those sedative guns? Shoot him, put him to sleep for a second.
A tranquilizer
until the first. Wake up on the first for the debut.
Oh man! But so DeWayne, tell us about Wake Comics. Wake Comics. This is the imprint that you're using to put all these comics out, or tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Wake Comics. If you look at the symbol, the way it looks, there's me, my wife, and my son. So when I wanted to make a logo, I wanted to make it represent the three of us. Mm-hmm. So when you look at the comic, it'll say, it looks like a trident. It's Wake, and then when you turn it sideways, it says Comics. So it just, nice. The logo pretty much represents my family. So it's important to me. So when I created that, had that logo, all the characters involved in it are pretty much stories that, I've made for my wife or my son, and, those characters that are important to me. And the main 5 characters, I'm working on, right now on writing their stories and making them great as I can, because my wife, she helped me with, some of the designs and colors, because, sometimes I get so overwhelmed on how to, draw a character. I ask her, because, you always need that, side help. So I always ask her, and she's she's just as about amazing and creative as I am. So I'm glad she's on my team.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Is she gonna do like write any of the stories? Or do you have
There is
anything coming
one
up?
character. There is one character I think I'll have. We've talked about. It's this character called Lonely Mist. It's a little blonde-headed, character. She's a ghost character that I definitely want to have her create and write and do stuff for, because she loves that character more than anything. That character's been around for almost 7 years, so I think she would do great in writing a little story for that character.
That's awesome, brother. That's awesome.
Yeah, trying to keep everything in the family for sure.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
You were gonna ask something, Sam?
No. He said Israel Purcell. He's one of the writers. Paul Revere was the one who said the British are coming. Stop acting up. There was a group of writers. He wasn't the only one. But he's the one that stood out in my head in school. Stop acting up.
Oh yeah, that's the one they talk about all the time.
Yes.
It was Paul. But yeah, no, that's funny, man. That's funny. So when do we think that Blood Sable will be released? Because I'm waiting for that.
Hopefully in a couple months. I definitely know it's going to be next year sometime, because like I said, John, he's doing the pencil, inks, and colors, and then my friend Daryl from Six Star Comics, he's doing lettering. He reached out to me and said he wanted to help. So anytime people reach out to me and want to help, I love the help. I appreciate it so much, because I already got enough on my plate personally. So, but I'm thankful I have a lot of friends who see my work and characters and want to be a part of the projects I have.
Yeah.
So I'm very thankful.
And you have more projects that you're
I'm going to be writing, inking, penciling, and lettering Crescent Blue, my big, one of my big characters, and I'm writing Flash Wave and writing Silent Thunder. So I probably will be doing a couple of projects on my own, because I feel like I have enough, artistic ability to create my own comics by myself. I've been reaching out to people on how to do stuff, so I think I'll be all right on a couple of projects on my own.
Cool.
I just know this Blood Sable's the main project I definitely want to get out. That book right there means a lot to me, and just something my son can have later on down the road. Yeah. Just, when he gets older and he can see that Dad made an amazing character just for him, just his own character he can always love and, show around to people if he wants to.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Now, are the characters that you're creating, is this going to be one universe? Is it going to be one Wake universe, or are
the Wakeverse? Yeah. There's a Wakeverse, and then there's a Liarverse, which the Liarverse is the characters with all, there's 6 of those characters in the Liarverse, and the Wakeverse are pretty much all the superheroes. So I have my, the good guys and the bad guys. So.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. Yeah. Nice. I like that. I like the way you're
gonna try to keep everything coherent and together. I don't want to get too jumbled up.
So what kind of do you read comics? What kind of books are you into?
I have a whole thing of comics my wife bought for me. I read Spawn. One of my favorite books is Batman Requiem. It's one of the comics I've read that literally has no voice, has no lettering or anything. It just shows artwork through, blood, sweat, and tears. It shows Batman being sad about Robin being gone. So I like stories like that can tell you through emotion and stuff like that. And, I read Deadpool. Deadpool is one of my favorites. There's a couple of comics I have in there, but I mostly like watching TV shows and stuff more than anything.
What?
I enjoy, like I said, DBZ, stuff like that. I used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! All the time. I love Chaotic, those old 90s shows. And I like watching stuff on YouTube too. There's a lot of indie creators making a lot of cool stuff too on their YouTube channels. Yeah, just like you guys. I enjoy watching y'all when I, want to learn about Comic Cons, because I've never been to one and stuff like that. So I check out y'all stuff a lot.
Yeah, you should definitely get to one, man. Listen, John's already saying that Blood Sable's coming out November 1st. So I don't know. You may want to talk to him.
If that happens, hey, see what happens. We will definitely see what happens. That man's killing it right now.
Yes.
I already have a lot of pages already, and that man's killing it. Like he told me after all, he told me after the projects he's doing, the few that he's got going on with the Wonder Duck and the Grok, stuff like that. That he was just going to kill Blood Sable and just put it together as fast as he possibly could. So I told him not to kill himself. I said, one page at a time is fine with me. Just don't hurt yourself. I know your shoulder and back. Just calm down. Just calm down.
Yeah, because he's still drawing with rocks in a cave.
He's a machine. He's a
Exactly.
machine.
He
He's
is.
a machine, man. He is Bionic Caveman. He is. That's it.
And that's a great character. I've done fan art for him. He has a lot of great characters. His Samurai Ninja Rabbits, I like those
I love
characters
that.
too.
I can't wait. Yeah, I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that. But yeah, man, listen, you have a lot of stuff going on. Little man is growing up. I'm sure he's gonna be very proud of his dad. When he gets older, he'll be like, my dad is Superman, dude. Like he did this. Wow.
Yeah. And
So,
I love it that, with his, with him having autism, I'm able to draw stuff for him. So anytime I draw his character, I love to show him. And when he smiles, because he can't speak, he's nonverbal. But when he sees me create his character and I see his smile, I know I'm doing it for the right reasons, creating something for him.
That's right.
So just seeing him light up makes me motivated to, create as much as I can for him.
That's awesome, my brother.
Yeah,
and
nice.
you're doing it, man. You're doing it. You're doing it.
Yeah,
And don't
trying.
stop, dude. Don't stop.
I'm
Listen,
trying.
and I gotta tell you, man, I thank you so much because, I have my Wonder Dog page up, and and I reached out to you because this is what it is. The indie community, we all gotta help each other out. And you have a lot of people who follow your page, and you are always posting. And I'm like, yo, dude, how can I expand my page? And you were very open about how to do it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, yo, man, I don't know. I'll talk to you later. It was just you straight up, yo, dude, do some of these things, do some of those things. So I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
I know I'm not a big guy, but any way I can help people that's helped me, I definitely want to try to help anybody I can. Like I said, I've had some falls here and there, but I'm glad I'm able to help people anytime I can.
Yeah, you're the man, man. I appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, brother.
Listen, Jalal and John are in the chat. Jalal is saying that he loves Vengeance from John, but John's saying that he's releasing Blood Sable pages 1 through 9 on Instagram.
John's
right
acting
now.
up. He's acting up.
He is. He's gonna show everybody the story before it even gets out.
I tell you, can't trust him with these pages. and then Michael San Martino, who's one of our other guys who's always on the channel, he says, "I'm reading Blood Sable on Instagram right now." So they're clowns, man. They're clowns. But we have a good time over here. We have a good time. So where can they find you, DeWayne? Tell us your handles.
You can find me at Instagram, DeviantArt. That's where I started, was over there on that, platform. So there's a lot of older art if people want to see older characters I've made over the years. Twitter, people don't check out my stuff on Twitter, but if people want to go over there too. And I got my YouTube page, and when I try to put more YouTube videos on there too, hopefully, when I get the chance, try to get some Blood Sable love over there. But yeah, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and DeviantArt, those, 4, and hopefully in a couple months or next year I can have my own, weight comic site. So that's the goal.
Looking forward to that, my man. Looking forward to that. And
Thank
when you
you.
have more stuff out there, obviously November 1st, maybe you can come back on the show once your book releases.
Heck yeah. Yeah, you guys let me know. Yeah.
No, we'll definitely have you back on. But thank you so much, DeWayne, for coming on. I know we were supposed to have you. We were supposed to have you before, and we had technical difficulties, so we couldn't get you on.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm glad we could reschedule. It's all good. I'm very thankful. Anytime I can do stuff and put myself out there for people even smaller than me, because there's a lot of great artists out there who are even small, smaller than me, but oh man, they're amazing. I hope I can be their little light. If they need it, just say, hey, you just keep pushing yourself, and you'll make it. Just gotta keep going.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right,
I mean, you have the right mindset, the right temperament. You can tell that what you're doing is with a lot of heart and soul. If you don't mind, I will feature it on What's in the Box. Drive traffic. So all you haters out there, suck it. So it's coming.
If you believe it in here and you believe it in here, you can never be beaten. If you believe that more than anything, even if you have to start out slow, start somewhere, because if you don't start, you're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to be able to finish if you don't start somewhere. So anybody out there who's small and doesn't believe in themselves, you can do it. Just do it.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Man. Yeah, thank you, D-Man. I appreciate you, my brother.
Thank you, guys. Thanks so much. It's awesome to be on. I was actually kind of nervous, but excited at the same time.
You're amongst friends,
You're good. This was fun, bro.
I had to give George a little talking to. I said, George, you need to be nice, because George is usually the bad guy.
Yeah, because I'm such a jerk. I'm such a jerk.
The New Yorkers, I'm telling you. The New Yorkers, I'm telling you right now.
Oh, man. But yeah, my brother, thank you so much for coming on, man. The love is real. The guys on the chat, everybody's It's just a big love
Everybody
fest
can,
right
man.
now.
Thank you,
I'm
guys.
feeling the
Thank you.
love.
Yeah.
But no, man, much luck to everything you're doing. And whenever Blood Sable comes out, let me know. And
Heck yeah, and I'll still keep talking to you guys over
Oh, yeah.
on IG. You guys know I'll message you guys whenever I got stuff coming. I'll definitely probably spoil y'all too.
Outstanding, brother.
not as much as John, I'm sure. John
Yeah,
not,
John, oh my
not as
gosh.
John spoils
That
us
man
first.
gives me Christmas presents every day. Jesus.
Oh man. All right, DeWayne. Take care, buddy. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, brother.
You got it.
I appreciate it. Thank
Peace.
you.
Later.
See ya.
Peace. Yes. So that was DeWayne.
Man.
You know, we talked about all of his creations. Very passionate. You know, courageous enough to be able to talk about his story.
Oh, bro.
You know, I think I think the reason why there isn't any healing is because people try to hide it and mask it, and they hide behind substances or something else to cover up for what's hurting them inside. And I think he found a creative outlet, and it shows. And you know, it'll be featured on What's in the Box, so check it out. I'll alert everybody once it's up, and it's a really cool story. But you know, there definitely has a twist to it, plot twist, and you'll find out on What's in the Box.
Yes, you
But
will. Yes,
you
you
know
will.
what? Reach out to him and get yourselves a copy.
Big time.
Yes.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, definitely reach out to him. He's I don't know if he gave it on the show. I don't think he actually gave his handle.
I think it's in the summary.
Yeah, but
his
it'll
Instagram,
be in the summary,
yeah.
and then you guys can check it out there. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's that was fun, man. I'm glad he came on and spoke to us about his projects and the many projects he's got. John, thank you so much for being on the chat. Jalal, you're the man. It's 2:00 in the morning and my man's all here watching the show. Thank you so much. You know, Michael, or as always, brother, you know how you do. You know, filling the chat up with stuff. Who was on here? Mark Torres. I know he's out there doing his thing right now. And Raging AVC. I don't know if that was Meredith or Nita, but you know, thank you so much, guys, for coming on. And D Hausner, thank you very much. If you guys haven't yet subscribed to the channel, Jerry was on here, so big shout out to you. London was great. Damn, I didn't even see that, Jerry. London was awesome, brother. I'll talk to you about that. I'll hit you up. We'll talk. But yeah, brother. So that was a good show, man.
Really good show. That's the first time we've done the actual segment live. We usually do Kickstarter lives, and
it's the first time.
Yeah,
first time.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting to see that. And I'm glad to see some old and new faces in the chats. Thank you all so much. And don't forget, you know, tomorrow I'll be online with the creators of Snowpaw.
That's right.
8 p.m.
One more show.
They're another one killing it. I think they broke 10,000 already. Yeah,
big kill.
No, you're a badass. And yeah, so the creators of Snowpaw will be on the show tomorrow. So join me tomorrow night here at 8 p.m. George won't be with me, so I'll be you know, flying that jet by myself. And then next Wednesday, the 27th, we will be live with Nita and Meredith Ragin for a Halloween special. So join us, dress up, join us, because we're going to be in costume and we're going to be drinking. George is going to have his ginger ale, and and I will break out the bubbly, and you know, it's gonna go to Funky Town.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, so join us next Wednesday 8 p.m. because we're gonna be live with the girls from Raging Cage, and it's gonna be a party. We're gonna put on strobe lights and everything. It's gonna be dope.
Wow.
And yeah, so yeah, again, like George said, thank you all of you guys for being on. Thank you, John. You're gonna have to wait for the live show, John. And in fact, John, I will probably bring you in the stream so you can talk about the thought process behind you doing that cover. So on the 1st, I'd like you to come and jump in for a few minutes and talk to the audience about your cover. And yes, we're gonna go live. It's gonna be dope. November 1st is gonna be a party every day, party all the time. That's it.
All right, sing it.
Yes, and if you haven't done so already, please sign up to Forbidden. You can choose either Indiegogo or Kickstarter, whichever one floats your boat. Currently, we have 19 people signed up to the Kickstarter and 8 people signed up to the Indiegogo. I'd love to get to 100 backers. This is the Kickstarter link. Bang. And this is the Indiegogo link right here. Bang. If you haven't done so already, please do so. Bang. And
Wow. That's a lot of bongs. A lot of bongs going.
a little of it. But,
Eddie Murphy, party all the time, baby. John, thank you so much, man. Jalal, you guys are the best.
Cause my
obviously,
girl
DeWayne,
wants to party all
man.
the time.
my man, DeWayne, yo, you the man. Thank you so much. So much positivity, man. We need that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
A person who's gone through the stuff that he's gone through and he's got that positive, outlook on life, man. You can't beat that.
Yo,
you can't beat that. So
Yes,
that's amazing.
exactly. And he's like this big teddy bear, right? But you put him on the football field and you're done.
Bro,
And you're
Lion
done.
Man. He's a guard. You
Crush.
ain't getting past him.
Crush. You ain't getting past. He's like, it's clobbering time. It's over.
That's right. That's right, baby. Oh, man. Nah, man. But it's been good. It's been fun. So tune in tomorrow. Don't forget. Tune in tomorrow. Jalal says,
yes.
which is better, Kickstarter or Indiegogo?
So George prefers Kickstarter. I like Indiegogo. And that's the problem. So there are people on Indiegogo that will not go to Kickstarter to back any of my campaigns on Kickstarter. So that's why I'm launching them both at the same time. Kickstarter is easier for me as a creative to put it all together. It's easier.
Indiegogo.
I'm sorry, Indiegogo is easy as a creative and all that stuff, and doesn't have all the red tape that Kickstarter has. Kickstarter is like more corporate, a lot of red tape. Indiegogo is a little easier, but it all depends on you. It all depends on your experience with it.
The biggest difference, Jalal, I'll say, backing obviously with back projects on both sides. Indiegogo takes your money right away. Kickstarter waits 30 days before they actually charge your card. So it depends. Do you want to put the money down now and forget about it, or do you want to put a down payment basically and then get charged at the end? It's totally up to you. So
yeah,
I think
Kickstarter's like
that's
layaway.
the biggest difference. Yeah. Kickstarter's like
like layaway.
Exactly. John, Forbidden number 3 variant cover now on Instagram.
Yes, I'm keeping everything to the last minute. He's not getting anything.
Snap.
He's probably out my window trying to see, is it there?
Yo, Blair, she says, keep everything till the last minute.
Then share. Yes.
Then share with John.
John's going to see it November 1st.
November 1st. When he's on the show.
That's what it looks like. Oh, sing me a song, Sam. Man. Oh, now Rage is acting up. Oh, now they're acting up. Yo, it's a conspiracy.
Like your voice. You out here singing. Out here singing all the time. You get people used to it. People now start making requests, bro. Request. We'll sing out what? We'll check both. Hold on, Alice. All right. Thanks, Jalal.
You guys are
Appreciate
crazy.
you, my man.
Crazy.
Yo, it's fun. Good times. But yeah, hey guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you also subscribe to Rage and AVC. Subscribe to Tommy Coates' channel, who is the son of John and Blair. Hysterical. You guys are great. So make sure that we got him raging. Eddie Murphy. Huh? Oh God. They're talking about how he's talking about how he had you singing Eddie
Girl,
Murphy's,
I can't understand it.
Wow.
Why you want to hurt me? After all of the things I've done for you. Remember that?
Holy
I buy you
cow.
champagne and roses. Put
that?
diamonds on
Who
your
the
fingers.
hell?
Wow. So you hang out all night. What am I to do? Because my girl wants to party all the time. Come on, George.
You know the song in its entirety. Nobody knows anything from that song other than party all the time. You out here singing verses. Yo, John says if Sam sings November 1st, I ain't coming home.
I'm gonna see Donkashay.
Wow.
Oh,
Holy
Jesus.
cow. Oh man, can't wait. Listen, we're gonna have a good time just like this on October 27th. So make sure you tune in, and on November 1st. So make sure you tune in, and check it out tomorrow night too. So wow, it's getting late.
It's getting late, and I'm making George nervous.
I don't know what you're gonna sing next, bro. I don't know what you're gonna sing next. Do it. Hit the button. That's right.
Yes, hit that button.
Right.
Sign up today. You know, let's get. We got 19 on signed up on Kickstarter and 8 on Indiegogo. Right. Which one's gonna have the most signed up? And let's make it a party. You know, forbidden number 2. We need to take this one. Push it to the limit. To the limit.
I knew it.
Scarface.
Yes, I know that one. That scene is great. That's when they're moving the money out of the bank.
Yes.
That's great. That's a great scene.
I know. If he would have just let Manolo do it, he would have been free. But no.
Bro, if you would have just asked them, yo, what were you doing with my sister? It would have been a different story. They were married. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
He said, push it, but push it real good. All right, buddy. Listen, that's
Michael Bolton. I got to think of Michael Bolton songs. Although Michael Bolton, you know, he's got that raspy voice.
Michael Bolton. Yo, John brought it back with Michael Bolton.
I know.
Holy
what is he doing?
man.
He's probably hanging out at a bar with Fabio.
I have no idea. Yo, bro, I haven't heard from him in a while.
Yeah,
Michael
I know.
Bolton, Jesus Christ. If he said Kenny G, I was gonna go.
Kenny G is just a saxophone.
Yeah, that's it. Good thing, because you don't play the saxophone unless you went.
Huh?
Oh snap!
Shit.
Wow.
Yes, but yeah. So thank you again, and again, congratulations to Daphne Lage on a successful campaign.
Big time.
Check out the Oswald Chronicles, currently on Kickstarter, by J.D. Calderon. Bolton, do some Miami Sound Machine. Come on, shake about here, do the conga. Everybody
That's
around now. Let the rhythm move your feet. Tat, 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 tat.
That's almost, it's close to Bitty Bitty Bom Bom. It's very close. Very, very close.
Shit. The Love Shack? The B-52 is supposed to see the Love Shack.
I gotta go.
Love Shack, baby.
Oh,
shit.
my
You guys are crazy.
God.
You guys are crazy. I gotta start charging for this.
Yo, for real, bro. Yo, look, the Joker always said, if you're good at something, never do it for free. And you're over here singing all the hits.
I'm pimping myself. Putting on the hits.
You better all have signed up to that Kickstarter or that Indiegogo launch thing. That's how you pay this man. You pay him. You pay him with subs. Let's do it.
Yes, let's do it.
Oh shit!
Share it.
I'm done.
If you like this episode, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe, like, share. Thank you all so much. We appreciate every single one of you. George, you want us to do a duet?
What? Look here, man.
Look at here. Look at here,
man. Look at here. I got a problem with my vocals. Right now. I'm feeling a little raspy.
Is that what it is? You can do the Bolton version. All right.
Oh my God.
So with that said, thank you all so much. Again, join me tomorrow night, 8 p.m. We'll have the creators of Snowpaw on the show. Thank you, Jalal. Thank you, John. Thank you, Raging Cajun, Meredith, and Nita. Tech the Godcast. We got we had Mark Torres. We had Blair Coates.
Yes.
We had Rodesco. I'm just going to say DeWayne.
That's DeWayne.
I'm just going to say DeWayne.
DeWayne.
Everybody got these special writing and stuff. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell am I looking for? But thank you all so much. We appreciate every single one of you. Mark Torres and the Funky Bunch. Yeah. That said, I'm Sam, the crazy man Vera.
Crazy indeed. And I'm George the Dreamer Medina.
And we are out. It's just easy. It's not.
Crazy. Acquiesce.
No, I was talking about my friend Acquiesce. I met him. Say my name, right? This is what you were thinking? Oh, he described me. He said, I'm the
What? Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. To Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze on Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.